The statewide grand jury, whose report we've been talking about, initially was convened to examine whether systemic school safety failures led up to the murders at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High.
Some of the families who lost sons and daughters and husbands in that mass shooting are applauding the governor's actions. Tony Montalto is one of them, Gina's dad, now devoted to the school safety mission with his organization Stand with Parkland. Tony, it's good to see you this morning. I'm glad you joined with us because you've read the grand jury report. You've heard the school board members who were suspended react. Hopefully you've heard the newly appointed board members, and we're wondering what your take is on what happened this week.
Well, I think first of all, it's important to recognize the great work of the grand jury, the 20th statewide grand jury. Realizing that the Broward County School District has had a long history of being involved in grand jury investigations from the state. Sadly, they've been subject to at least 4 that I know of, that being 1997, 2003, 2011 in the 19th grand jury, and now in 2019 in the 20th grand jury. We applaud the governor's actions, which are clearly needed for a long time here to help clean up the Broward County School Board.
Yeah. Tony, among the 4 members who have been appointed by the governor, you've got a construction expert, you've got a very efficient and reputable lawyer. These 2 other gentlemen have pretty good track records. Do you feel confident that some of the systemic problems with Broward County Public Schools are going to be addressed and fixed?
Well, I think we've seen that much of the negligence and mismanagement regarding the school board has resulted in failures to keep our students and our teachers safe at school. We need more manager type people that can handle multi-million-dollar projects and the management and direction of those, as opposed to just relying on educators. Educators are important, of course, in our school system, as are administrators, and there's lots of good people in the Broward County School District, but the school board clearly failed in their oversight duties.
You know, Dr. Osgood said something in our last segment. As we're looking at your beautiful daughter over your shoulder, she was 14, and Rosalind Osgood was talking about how voters reelected her and some of her colleagues over and over, and that was a mandate for them to continue what they were doing. You just mentioned several grand juries that had looked at issues with the Broward School Board. I'm guessing that your daughter was in public schools through 3 of them, and I'm interested in your perspective as a voter, as a dad, as a parent of someone in public schools. Those other grand jury reports, which were pretty critical, did you key into those? Did you have a reaction to those like you do now when your family was a victim of what may have gone on?
Sadly, like many of us, I trusted the people that were elected and were the bureaucrats running the school district to keep my daughter and all the other students and staff members in Broward County Schools safe. They were not performing those duties. Their permissive attitude allowed lax security, lax safety measures. We just saw about a year and a half ago a school roof collapse. Yeah. I mean, how lucky we were that more people didn't get killed.
Right.
Clearly, there were problems in the Broward County School Board.
Tony, you, to your credit, have spent a good deal of time in Tallahassee. You have lobbied for the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act, and it mandates, among other things, that when a school district gets state money to secure schools, it's got to spend the money on that. A recent report I saw said that under Vicki Cartwright, the new superintendent, relatively new, that in fact Broward County Public Schools are doing better in that regard. Are they?
They're clearly doing better, as evidenced by Superintendent, Superintendent Cartwright's presentation to the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Commission, where she detailed the steps that the district has taken. Sadly, let's remember that the 20th grand jury came about because former Superintendent Runcie gave, shall we say, less than truthful answers to the questions when asked by the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Commission. And he showed an incredible lack of urgency to fix safety issues that had been identified in the wake of my beautiful daughter's death, her 13 classmates, and her 3 teachers.
You know, back when Sheriff Scott Israel was suspended by the governor in the months after the shooting and held responsible for a lot of it by the governor, Governor Ron DeSantis had come to the families and almost consulted with the families about the suspension and the replacement. I'm wondering if the governor or anyone in his office consulted with the families on the school board member replacements.
I was not part of that. Some might have been. More importantly, it's to remember that the people were removed because of their failures. Who the governor chose to replace them is the governor's business, but it's certainly important to remember that they were removed for cause, as found by the grand jury report.
Yeah. On the other hand, I think in fairness, we should point out that none of those people have been charged with a crime. I mean, you don't have to rise to the level of a crime to be guilty of misfeasance, malfeasance, neglect of duty, and the other, criteria listed for suspension. So that's one thing. I guess the bottom line here is, I want to ask you politically, I don't know what party you belong to, and I don't necessarily want you to tell me, but Broward County is predominantly a Democratic county. Now you've got 4 new school board members who are Republicans. Is that fair? Does that reflect what Broward County is?
I'll just say that school board positions are nonpartisan the last time I checked on the ballot.
Yeah,
so to bring politics into it, which these accused and removed people have done, quite frankly, is not a fair reflection. Again, we need to hold our public officials accountable. We need accountability and honesty in our public officials, especially when our schools are concerned. That's one of the reasons we had to have the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Commission extended to the year 2026 this year in the legislature. And I'll quote the 19th grand jury report, which says, "Bad habits and corrupt practices often return when the light of inquiry is turned off."
Yeah, well, amen. We believe that too. That's part of what journalism is supposed to
job.
do, is shine the light in dark places and let the little roaches run out and be prosecuted. Tony Montalto, we appreciate your time this morning.
Always.